Stormgate is the upcoming RTS from Frost Giant Studios, a team of Blizzard veterans who helped bring StarCraft II and Warcraft III to life. Stormgate is a Blizzard-style RTS that sits in a nice sweet spot between StarCraft and Warcraft. Its core pillars are the 4 Cs: campaign, co-op, competitive, and custom games. Plus, the story was written with the help of Blizzard veteran Chris Metzen, so technically that's 5 whole Cs. Stormgate is fully funded, but the team at Frost Giant has launched a Kickstarter to reach loftier community goals, like a beefier beta period that guarantees backer access in 2024 and a sick collector's edition featuring this incredible mech statue. Ooh. Become a Stormgate founder and join the closed beta now by supporting the game on Kickstarter. And head over to playstormgate.com for the latest updates on your next favorite strategy game.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Second Wind's Firelink podcast. This is episode number 1 for Wednesday, December 6th, 2023. My name is Marty Sliva, and I am so happy to be joined by KC Nwosu, Nick Calandra, and our producer, Eric Weikart. Firelink is Second Wind's weekly live podcast where the three of us, with Eric, will be joining you live to spoof and goof and break down the latest gaming news. We'll dig into some big topics like the Game Awards this week and give our takes on what we've been playing, what we've been watching, who we've been kissing.
I mean, you guys know who I've been kissing.
Probably not.
We might have dogs. Wait.
Just dogs. But if you are new to the three of us podcasting, welcome. And if you tuned into 100 or so episodes of Breakout, welcome back, everyone. We are so happy.
I gotta be honest. You saying number 1 like shocked me a little bit. That threw me off.
It's just like Dark Souls.
This is episode number 1.
Back to the start.
So to let you know what we're going to be talking about today, as you can see in the headline, we're going to be talking about the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer and a lot of the news that came out around that. We'll be talking about how despite the fact that this year has been a banner year for games, it's just continued to be a real sucky year for the games industry. More layoffs, stories coming off about hearing stories about Bungie and Embracer has been such a bummer. And of course, we'll be giving a breakdown of our thoughts, predicting what's going to happen at tomorrow night's Game Awards, which we will be here live doing a watch along almost exactly 24 hours from now, right around 6 p.m. Central tomorrow. So tune in for that. And remember, like everything here at Second Wind, we are funded by you guys, your patronage over at the Patreon, and your incredible donations via super chats, like Harry Sun with $2 Australian lighting the bonfire with a little tip. Thank you so much, Harry Sun. Nick, why is the show called Firelink?
The show is called Firelink because I just wanted to annoy everybody with more Dark Souls things. No, it's called Firelink because the Escapist team from 2019 to 2023 was like really brought together along with the community with a lot of Souls games, basically. Like Elden Ring is what really, or Dark Souls 3, whatever I played first, kickstarted like kind of my career on streaming. It brought together a lot of people. Elden Ring was kind of like a really pivotal point for our team, which brought a lot of new people to the channels. We did playthroughs of that. So it's just kind of in our DNA. Like everybody kind of has Souls to them in some way, including myself, the proper Souls champ of Second Wind.
Have we even played a Souls game on Second Wind?
Exactly, so I'm just stealing it.
You monster. I also like how at some point you said everyone has souls within them. Like that was a deeper meaning. We all got souls inside of us. So yes, while this will not be a dedicated FromSoft podcast, there is a good chance that in every single episode we will bring them up at some point because we have head injuries and are afraid to talk about new things.
This is the Souls game of podcast.
Again, it's just like Souls. We always return to this Souls talk.
Exactly. Rogue Jonin, welcome to the tip jar. Thank you so much, Rogue. And Jediah Games, thank you so much for the dono. I like Dark Souls 1. I also like Dark Souls 1. Also, DS1 could be Death Stranding 1, and I also like that. And we'll talk about that later because I got some Hideo Kojima predictions because that man is in the air right now. He's in the air.
Include,
there's only one place that
again
could land. Him retweeting you again? No.
Again, yeah.
He's never going to retweet you again.
You didn't deserve the first one.
He did. He retweeted all of our Metal Gear streams from a burner account. It was fine. How How are you guys doing? It's been like a month and a half since we potted together.
In a month
Is
and a
everything all
half.
right?
Yeah, I was
So,
getting
yeah.
podcast withdrawal. It's like there was the thing is there was a lot of news happening, and you can only talk
No.
about so much throughout
Yeah.
the week. And I already have another podcast, and it wasn't enough.
Wasn't enough. Yeah, I went from podcasting several times a week with you, KC, to no times a week with you. But I'm very excited, and we'll have updates. Maybe we'll be doing 2 podcasts a week. Who knows? Or no, 2 streams a week.
Ooh.
Who knows? There's no way to know. We know.
Yes,
'cause
impossible.
we're literally planning it, so we know. Do you guys want to just start off with this Grand Theft Auto shenanigans?
I mean, we could. It's not
Good.
It feels like it's in the thumbnail. Earlier this week, Rockstar did what Rockstar does, and they said, just with a very, very nice, clear image, when they are dropping the first trailer for Grand Theft Auto 6. The internet immediately jumped on it and made a lot of spoofs and goofs with kind of that vaporwave, cotton candy color in the background. But then the night before the trailer was going to release, a bunch of details, and then the actual trailer with a giant Bitcoin watermark over it. Yeah, released, and then Rockstar pulled the trigger on it early. Apparently, the leaks were coming from the first leaks were coming from the son of one of the artists at Rockstar.
Well, I heard it was a friend of the son of one of the artists.
Oh, not a friend. Either not a friend anymore or not a son anymore. So,
I'd like to have the son surgically removed, please.
Yeah, one of those aren't going to happen. Then the full trailer was leaked, and then Rockstar was just like, "Listen, it's out in the wild. Here it is." Like, I kind of respected that. Like, let's not keep up the charade. Here's an actual good quality version of it without a giant, egregious Bitcoin watermark over it, and that seemed fine because in 24 hours it became the largest non-music video, the quickest, the most viewed non-music video in YouTube history in the first 24 hours, and has already surpassed the GTA 5 reveal trailer, which is absolutely nuts. What did you guys think about it? Are you guys excited for Grand Theft Auto?
Before we do that, it looks like Eric needs us to wait 10 seconds so we can switch servers because there's a little bit of lag.
In this economy?
Yeah. Fiber internet.
Can I read a super chat? Server. We're good? Okay.
Oh. Ooh, that's way less laggy. Look at KC, like 60 frames per second.
This is 4K KC. 4K
we weren't meant to go this fast.
4K. Grand Theft Auto. Yeah,
it's good.
It seemed fine to me because I'm just living in reality right now. My reality did not skip at all. What's your guys' opinion right now on Grand Theft Auto? Are you excited for 6? Are you going to be a part of the biggest entertainment launch of all time?
Well, yeah, you gotta be a number in the machine there. But I don't know, Marty, you and I kind of talked the other day. Neither of us finished Grand Theft Auto 5.
Not only did I not finish
know
it,
it's a game.
They started it.
Yeah, I think I got through like the first heist and never went back to it.
I got to the city. I got out of like Trenton, New Jersey, or wherever the fuck
the game starts in
like
in the Midwest, I think. They're not in Jersey.
I thought it was all snowy. Like wherever that first snowy mission is, and then you go to actual the coast.
Yeah, then you go to
Yeah.
No, okay. I'm actually kind of shocked to hear that you guys didn't actually finish 5 because I loved 5. Like I thought 5 was the best like GTA-esque story. Like people love 4. 4 is a great story, but I thought 5 was much more interesting, much more dynamic in terms of his mission design, the characterizations of the characters, and like it's sort of satirical message of like the American dream for like a bunch of shitty people. Like I really love 5, and I feel like it got forgotten in the in the shadow of GTA Online.
To its defense, the reason I stopped playing was not because of the game. It was just because at the time I had a bunch of different beats at work that were not Grand Theft Auto.
Sure.
We had a ton of people on Grand Theft Auto. Like I was still covering The Last of Us. That was right before the new consoles, like the Xbox One and the PS4 launched. I was covering like Black Flag. So it was just one of those. By the time I like had a gap in my schedule, it had been a year, and the new game came out.
That's exactly what happened to me because that was 2013 that game came out.
Yeah,
so yeah, I would have been heading into college at that point, and right when that came out, I sold my PS3 and 360 to get the Xbox One, and so like started GTA 5 but didn't finish it before I switched consoles.
But no, that game launched late 360.
It was September It was September 2013, and in November 2013, the new consoles launched. So it launched on 360 and PS3, and then I think a couple months later, the next gen.
So I definitely bought it twice.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people bought it several more than that.
I bought it like 5 times now because I keep thinking like, oh, I'll play it on my PC. Nope, I guess I want to play on my Xbox. No, I want to play on my PlayStation.
Yeah, and I'm Grand Theft Auto. I didn't play a ton of 3 proper. Vice City, San Andreas, and 4. I put like 100 hours into each of them. Like I devoured those games, all the Ballad of Gay Tony and Lost in the Dam DLC.
Played all those DLCs.
Even like Chinatown Wars for the DS. I loved
that one. I skipped.
Yeah, it was cool. So yeah, I'm excited for this. And the Miami setting, you know, we got some people are like, oh, they're reusing. First off, some people are like, oh, it's in America still. I'm like, this whole series seems built around satirizing this country, so it kind of like it feels like the entire thing.
There's no other country in the world where you can just take a gun around and go into a shop and be like, hey man.
And then being like, oh, it's Vice City again, and I'm like, Vice City was 2003, I think. So the technology has changed quite a bit in the 20. It's if you were born the year Vice City came out, you'll be old enough to drink by the time this game comes out.
You're old enough to play this game.
I thought it looked, unsurprisingly, looked phenomenal. Rockstar is really good at trailers. Obviously, this was not a gameplay heavy trailer. This was a tone piece and setting where this game is set, much like the first Red Dead trailer and the first GTA 5 trailer. I think right away this looks like a new high watermark for visuals in games. Like, this game is undoubtedly the reason it's taking so long, and we'll get into the fact that I think it's going to take even longer than they say, is because Rockstar is like first in class when it comes to tech and video and visuals. Like, there's just no one else like them. This is gonna be a weird comparison, but to me, they're like James Cameron. They get carte blanche to take as long as they want, and every time they put something out, it feels like it moves like a mile. Like there's a new mile marker.
Yeah, except it's sort of deserved their praise, as opposed to James Cameron, who released the Avatar and like no one.
Ubisoft's Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora out tomorrow on various consoles and personal computers.
So yeah, I think my interest is in the gameplay. Like, what are they doing to move the gameplay forward? Because I don't know. I guess graphics just don't excite me as much as it used to. So
I'm gonna call it just more sentence.
If it's more GTA. Great.
Wait, like, Nick, you're Johnny. I got a 470X in my back pocket. You were literally bragging about streaming Avatar on a 470 90 45.
I can't be excited about it because it's not announced for PC yet.
Oh,
that's true.
That is true. So yeah, some of the details.
Future-proof myself for a game I can't play.
Yeah. Like the trailer confirmed a lot of those leaks from the other year about the two playable main characters. How it kind of has this Bonnie and Clyde feel to it, how it's set in, you know, their version of Miami. But the new details we got are it is launching only on the Series X and S, which we'll see if that's still a thing in a few years, and the PS5. So it is not launching on old gen, which makes sense, and it is not launching on PC at the time, which that is a bummer, but also makes sense. That's what all their other games, how they've been, and Rockstar doesn't launch things unless they are gonna get 10s. And if they don't think they can have a PC version that will get 10s across the board, they're not going to launch that. Like, it will come out on PC, obviously, and everyone will buy it a second time, like Nick.
It's one of those it's one of those things, like, they have to get it right when they launch it, and you really can't test the game on PC until it's done, and then you got to test it on all those different configurations, as many as they can, or if they don't and it releases in a shitty state like a lot of AAA games, then they have a big, and that's a big PR kerfuffle. So this nobody should be surprised that it's not launching on PC simultaneously.
And hasn't Rockstar had a history with like troublesome PC ports?
Yeah, like everybody forgot, like the GTA 4 port was really bad. That's why like Red Dead 1 basically skipped PC. Right? Yeah, Red Dead 1's never been on PC, and then GTA 5 had its troubles too at launch. So
guys, it's almost sounding like consoles are better than PC. I don't know.
It's easier to develop for when you don't have 1,000,001 confconfigurations to work with.
Yeah, it's like they were made to play video games or something.
Like
instead of like weird little text boxes.
Because then you'll have a bunch of people that haven't even upgraded to SSDs yet. Why does GTA suck on PC? Well, yours on a hard drive, and we're in the SSD
doesn't have
age.
enough S's. I don't know what to tell you guys. Are you like the going back to Miami, going back to Vice City? Like, does that does that setting do anything for you? Was there anything that stood out? Obviously, like it sort of leaned heavily into the Florida man meme, sort of how rowdy shit is get down there in terms of like a melding of like the like Latino urban culture, hillbillies, like gun-toting rednecks. Like it is everything. It is kind of a mishmash.
I think it is actually the perfect time for them to go back to Vice City and that fake state of Florida. Because like it was said forever ago, I think by one of the two Housers who ended up leaving Rockstar, who's not there anymore, that like he couldn't see how to satirize America anymore because of how
Yeah.
over the top our country has become in terms of like political nonsense, social nonsense, all that stuff. But even looking at it through that lens, Florida is still kind of in a class of its own in terms of just wild antics. So you
Mhm.
could make a game about how Florida actually is, and the rest of the world would be like, "Oh, that's over the top. That's satire." So I think that might actually work.
Yeah, I mean, like the country we live in right now is satire by itself. So
Right.
Well, and it's so
just send it more over the top.
GTA 5 came out 10 years ago, and in that, not only the 2016 election, but like just social media was like primarily text based then. So obviously we've seen things in this trailer for like TikTok and like kind of that kind of like social media, which seems like it's going to play a big part in the game. And then yeah, I'm curious, like Rockstar, when it comes to the writing in Rockstar's games, like their lampooning and satirizing don't usually do it for me. Like I loved the writing in Red Dead 2, and I
Mm.
hope that obviously there's still going to be the Florida man lampooning in this. I hope that the story of the couple, the Bonnie and Clyde, I believe Lucia and Jason, I think their names are. I hope that has like a beating heart to it, like Arthur's story did, because like that is the thing I always think about when I think of Red Dead. I think of like how good like Arthur and all of the Vanderlyn gang's story was.
And like I want to point out that the Red Dead story is phenomenal, but like they do have shades of that in the previous GTA games. Like 5 does have those like it's like the city itself is where all the lampooning and the satirizing happens, but like
Mhm.
the characters you play as and the way they interact with it is how they come into contact with it, but their stories and their relationships with each other get pretty deep and interesting. They can also be funny and like they can make fun of a greater thing, but
Yeah.
like they're pretty deep. Like The Lost and the Damned was a very interesting story about like breaking out of like a group dynamic, right? Like
Mhm.
being different from the people who you're supposed to be grouped with. And like the Ballad of Gay Tony, um, I honestly can't remember that story. I just remember liking it quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean,
But they were
yeah,
really flexing their writing muscles in both of those, I'm sure.
and people point to like Nico, like
Yeah,
Yazzio's
Nico's story. Yeah.
story was his favorite story in those games, and I think even like CJ arcs and Tommy's arc in Vice City and everything. So yeah, I'm just excited because I like when people take a long time and swing for the fences. I like either take a very long time and swing for the fences, or make something real quick and janky. I just want
And
those
then-
two things. Take 10 years or take 10 months. Nothing.
And then
nothing-
Marty doesn't even watch it after hyping it up this whole time.
Are we talking about Avatar?
Oh, we're talking about Avatar.
I still got 48 hours to watch Avatar 2.
You already
dying
committed.
48 hours?
He already committed the other day. He wasn't going to watch it before the game came out.
I didn't commit to it. I just said I probably wasn't. Well, first I said I was going to.
You
And
said
you
to
said you
watch
were.
it on your deathbed.
I was
what
going to
you
watch
said.
it before the game came out, and I assume I will
He's
die
gonna-
playing the game.
so he's only going to watch the sequel and not like the threequel and the quadruple sequel thing.
Quadruple. I gotta see what happens in the. I gotta see what happens in the Fire Nation. Going
What?
over a couple of super chats quick. I still got some Grand Theft Auto thoughts, but I also want to talk about some of the other trailers that came out this week. Sin Vendetta, $9.99 dono. Thank you so much, Sin Vendetta, from earlier. Shout out to Marty for showing me how to do the dragon head glitch back when Dark Souls first released. Dark Souls was one of the first games I covered at IGN as well, and that was on. If you think of someone who is so good at video games that they could write an entire guide about an unreleased Dark Souls that ends up being the center of someone's YouTube video, where it's I try to play Dark Souls using the IGN guide and I can't. That was me. That guide wasn't mine anymore. That was a wiki that was re-edited a billion times. That's fine. But thank you so much, Sin Vendetta, and it's great to see you here. Darwin's Dummy, new member for $5 dono. Thank you so much. Amy might be the Souls champ a second win. She's killed the most FromSoft-esque bosses on stream, or maybe Jack with the Lords of the Fallen stream. That is true.
Those aren't the rules. I just want to point that out. Lampy makes the rules for who's the Souls champ.
Fucking
New,
Lampy.
new name, new rules.
Why the fuck is Lampy made the rules?
Because Lampy made the emote. Like this all happened before. I don't know why I have to keep reminding folks of our history.
There's a whole
This
new
all
audience.
happened
This is a new,
before.
this is a new website. This is a new.
You know what?
yeah,
That's
channel.
fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. So let's put it in stone right now.
Nothing from
There's
the
a
past
reason-
matters. That's why this name is the Firelink podcast.
Nick made up the title Souls champ and gave it to himself. And then he challenged me for no reason. I wasn't saying anything. He challenged me to beat his challenge, which I did, therefore making me the Souls champ. Nick to this day has not done anything to reclaim that title other than say that he's the Souls champ. So I'm just gonna leave it at that.
That's all I have to do. I control history. I'm Thanos.
Breaking news. Breaking news. Amy says Jack's the Souls champ.
Fuck off, Amy.
It can't be Jack. Jack
Listen,
ran
everyone could be a champ of something else.
All right, I'm a
Casey,
6 seed champ.
Casey's a Smash champ. Hubba hubba. Also,
Hey.
hey, you know what? Tomorrow, HBD Smash, 5th anniversary of Smash Ultimate tomorrow. HBD
Oh my god, that
Smash
game's been out for
Ultimate.
5 years. That's crazy.
HBD Smash.
I think they'll announce a new one tomorrow.
You know, Marty, so I saw like in Instagram, I was going through, just scrolling through, and somehow I came across somebody else from IGN, and they also used HBD to wish somebody a happy birthday.
It's just normal. Like that's what like people use it. Maybe that's a Bay Area thing.
Why would
No, people write HBD all the time.
Where the fuck
That's
were
normal.
you on that? Where were you when I was getting fucking roasted?
I
Casey? was
don't
being
know. I don't even know
roasted.
where this happened.
I was being spit roasted like a Hawaiian pig for my HBD. It was mostly Jack and Frost who had never heard, or Jack and Jemate had never heard HBD, and everyone thought it sounded like a VD.
Huh.
But it's
HBD?
HBVD.
HBVD.
Dacus,
That sounds like a
welcome to
sex
the Green
disease.
Gang. Dacus, Jason Drumgo with a 499 dono. Thank you so much. I've seen more leaks since the trailer. I think it's all planned. I will promise you this leak was not planned, and Rockstar is not thrilled about it. However, I will say when you have 10 million people working on a game, it is very hard to keep it secret.
And also 100 million people that want to watch that trailer. Everybody's looking for it. Also, somebody on Twitter pointed out they kind of asked for that because they uploaded it to to premiere a video. You have to upload it to YouTube and guarantee somebody's going to get in there.
That's
little cockroaches find their way back into those
That's what
servers.
we're kind of wondering about, like the game. You know, we're 24 hours away from the Game Awards. We haven't had too many. We haven't had any like major concrete leaks. We'll talk about some stuff Keeley has promised later on.
Mhm.
But I don't. If it's 24 hours, just don't do it. Why are you doing it? Leak like important things, like fucking. I don't know, like Bobby Kotick's social security number or something.
Like the student debt passwords.
Yeah,
That's a work on that can be.
just erase those. Sounds great.
Somebody made like a Splinter Cell game about that where you have to go wipe student debts. Just always killing people. Like just
Too real.
do something good for the world.
Kill our debts. Think
Yeah.
about it. Yeah, let Eve know.
Get on a
Tell
Yahtzee.
Eve-
You're a
tell Eve
developer.
That's our. It was only if only we had Ubisoft employees here.
Yeah, instead of that, Yahtzee made like the magic poop machine or whatever it was.
Yeah, he did talk about. He
I
made
mean,
a thing
that's
called
more
the
Yahtzee
Magic
speed.
That is true.
Yeah.
And Nick the OG, welcome to the tip jar. Not in the green gang, just that tip jar. Which I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what the difference is because I believe you're green both ways. So I think we got some explain to do. Another trailer that released this week was for Dragon Age Dreadwolf.
Wasn't even a trailer.
I mean, it's legally a trailer. It wasn't
3 seconds of footage, environmental
type in
shots.
Amy to like give a 90-minute breakdown.
She's gonna walk in here and kick me in the face.
First off, those glamour shots of the various fantasy lands looked very nice. The main thing from that trailer was at the end of it, they said full gameplay reveal summer 2024. What I want to know is how early is too early to do all? Like, should we be doing all this? Grand Theft Auto says it's coming out in 2025. Rockstar has, for their last several games, have set release dates and delayed every single time. I think there is a very strong chance this game, Grand Theft Auto 5, doesn't come out till 2026.
Is this the furthest they've ever put a release date when they've announced? Because 2 years is kind of long.
It's technically not 2 years. It's technically like 14
They just
months,
said
because 2025 can start.
Okay, but they just said 2025. That could mean anything.
Sure, that could mean January to December. That's 12 months. But I don't know. Like, this is also like something I'm thinking about with the Game Awards coming tomorrow. We're undoubtedly going to see trailers for things. Look at the Game Awards past. We saw trailers 2 years ago, possibly 3 years ago, for Wonder Woman. Haven't heard anything from it. Star Wars Eclipse sounds like it's coming out at the end of the decade. Fucking Perfect Dark. Remember that game? Like,
Well, at least we know
does.
that ran into trouble. Like, right? Like it, like something bad happened, so like it got held up. We don't know anything about the other ones.
Why does Joanna Dark go after the student debts instead of Data Dyne Corp? But yeah, like what? Do you think now is when Rockstar should have showed it? Do you think that Rockstar should have waited a year? Like, what do you? I don't know. Like how does hype work?
Yeah, I am wondering why they decided to say what they did, and I feel like, is it pressure? Because like they already had a massive leak, and then the second they're like, "All right, fine, we'll tell you something," that got leaked. Like it's like, like if they stayed silent, how long until another leak before they were ready to actually say something? Like the stuff was gonna come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There's so many games coming out. Like I don't even as somebody in like the media space, I don't really care when people announce their games anymore, because if it's not coming out in the next like 3 months, I don't care at this point. Like
Yeah, it'll just fade into the background.
there's too many games coming out. So I mean, like people are gonna be hyped about Grand Theft Auto either way. Like they want to get people into that cycle, but knowing Rockstar, like we're not getting anything until they have their big gameplay deep dive trailer till 6 months before release, probably. So once we get that, like I feel like once we get that deep dive trailer, then we know, like, all right, we're at the finish line.
Yeah, or like
That's the trailer I care about.
Yeah. Yeah, and for some games you see, like they've straight up said stuff like announcing that CD Projekt was doing a new Witcher game and Star Wars Eclipse were both kind of hiring tactics. Instead of being like, you're coming to work on a game, but we can't tell you anything about it, being able to say, you're coming to work on the next installment of The Witcher, or you're coming to work on a Star Wars narrative game. I feel like it gets people excited, right? And that gets people stoked. So I understand it in those things. It's weird because I'm a big movie guy, obviously, and like I follow the movie trades, and movies do a similar thing. Like Disney will announce, like, here's the next 7 years of the MCU, and then everything goes to shit because some of the movies are bad, and then they realize Disney Plus was kind of a mistake, and then the people you cast may have committed crimes, and like certain people just don't want to do this anymore. So yeah, I don't know what the sweet. Everything can't just be like, and it's out now. Like everything can't hi-fi rush it.
But also
my one cynical side says that that co-founder that left to create that build a rocket ship has been getting a lot of press.
Is that with Leslie Benzies, who's creating everything?
Yeah, with everything, and like maybe this is a way to like steal some of their hype because they are probably going to be a competitor.
Yeah, but that game just looks like fucking Fortnite.
No, there's two games in that. There's that everything, and then they're working on like a AAA GTA something like that they showed off to the press a few months ago.
Roblox.
No, it like looks. Go look it up. They released like a small teaser. It's on VGC.
That sounds like fake news.
That PC game showcase, is that when they showed the last trailer for that?
Yeah, they showed everything during the PC game.
There's two different things. So like there's a creation engine, and then within the game they are making like a big AAA third-person action adventure game. It looks super realistic. It's they're working on
just that.
They're working on. People previewed it, like they're working on 2 AAA.
Yeah, but you said that with like months ago. They had an opportunity to do an announcement, and they chose not that.
What do you mean?
They chose the creation thing.
Yeah, because the creation thing's going into a beta.
All right. I don't feel like anyone associated with a Rockstar could compete with Rockstar proper, because GTA is still.
Well, yeah, GTA is proper. That's like I said, my cynical side.
Have you ever seen an example of that happening? Of like, I'm going to go do my own thing, and it being bigger than the thing was known. I mean, fucking Stormgate. Okay, we're sponsored by Stormgate, and I don't know anything about RTS games, but Stormgate, the game we were sponsored by from earlier on in the stream, that is former leads of Warcraft 3 and StarCraft 2, who were like, we wanted to make an RTS game at Blizzard, and Blizzard was like, we don't do that anymore. And so they went and formed their own thing, and it just looks like what you would expect a Warcraft or a StarCraft game to look like in 2023, 2024.
And their Kickstarter asked for 100,000. They raised that in 12 minutes yesterday.
Yeah,
and now they're about to cross. Now, but they're across.
Game where you
they're about to cross $1 million already.
Yeah,
but that's not competing, right? That's them doing.
There is nothing to compete with because there's no StarCraft right now.
Yeah, exactly. I guess that is not competing. But that's like
so. In this case, it would be like the thing still exists, and you're going to go make another competing thing.
I guess it's like Iga.
That's
right.
harder.
Igarashi leaving Konami because Konami didn't want to make 2D Castlevania games anymore, and then making Bloodstain, something like that, or the Rare team forming a Play Dead? No, that's not Play Dead. Play Date? No, that's the Cranker. Who is the ukulele people? Platonic.
Yes.
And then making ukulele. But like, I don't know if there's like an example of like one that just like usurped the throne. Is Larian? Where did the Larian? No, Larian was just Larian.
Larian,
yeah, because you could think of like Infinity Ward and Respawn.
Yeah, I guess
like,
Respawn.
Yeah. Respawn's
well, no, not even. But not even then though, because
they didn't even do it either.
Like Titanfall never became bigger. Yeah.
And Apex is like its own thing. They made a Star Wars game. Infinity War never made a Star Wars game. About that. And then, Eric. Geez, Metroid Prime 4 logo teaser was 6 years ago. You know what? Just it's fine. Show it at the Switch 2. Switch 2 will be revealed tomorrow night. Everything will be fine. It's not.
I think Metroid has the pull to be a launch game for the Switch.
If there's
for a Nintendo console.
There's also a Mario game. I think so.
King Dead actually did make a good one. City Skylines definitely did become, I think, bigger than SimCity.
Mm.
What was the last SimCity though? It's The Sims now.
No, those are two different series.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like The Sims is different than what SimCity.
They were made in. They were both franchises at the same time. SimCity was a spin-off of The Sims. It was a city builder game.
No, SimCity was original. SimCity was like
yeah.
No, but what I'm saying is, what was the last SimCity?
It was like 10 years ago.
That
was that game that. No, because SimCity launched in that fucked up state with like always online and like literally killed the franchise.
Itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then after that is when Skylines became a thing, right?
Yeah.
So again, not competing.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we get no Godzilla v Kong, and then Godzilla and Kong team up. Think about
what's that? What's that? Not the Sims. It's the one that Paradox is making.
Yeah, but that's not like. Was that former people from?
Yeah, that guy created the Sims.
Well then,
that went
a ring a ding ding.
Ding.
Yeah. And Nick the OG with a $5 dono. Thank you so much. Who else can I think of that left a place, made their own thing, and ended up being bigger and better than before? I wonder. Listen, I don't know what you're talking about.
Without any shade, what are we competing with?
I mean, yeah, we are competing with ourselves.
Like what?
I'm competing with trying to get health insurance. That's what I'm competing with.
That's true.
I'm competing with get this boy his asthma medication.
My mom has been yelling at me because I kept putting off getting my MRI for my heart, and then I got fired, and I'm like,
Mom's right.
Yeah,
maybe I should put things off.
That could be a lesson to all of you guys. If you got something you need to do, just do it. Get out of bed. Go to bed early and wake up early in the morning and go get that shit done. Fungus Finder, $2 dono. Bring back Sim Ant and maybe Sim Farm. I liked when they were trying weird things. Now they just try the safe things. Sim Ant I thought was neat. I never played any of those, but I'm like, get weird.
I tried the movies game. That was them, right?
That was Sid Meier's. Was it Sid? No,
that was Peter Molyneux. No, that was
Peter Molyneux.
That was Peter Molyneux's studio.
Yeah, Lionheads, the movies.
Lionhead, yeah. That felt like a Sims game, but I guess it wasn't.
The films. So going from the stuff we're excited about to Bummersville, we were talking on Breakout for the entire year / plus. We were talking about how this year has been really incredible for game releases. Like, I think this is going to be looked back on as one of the strongest years ever. And it's both AAA, it is first party stuff, it is incredible indies. And we just got a Highland song, and we talking about that at the end of the episode. Like we got banger goatee material coming out in December, which is rare. However, in terms of the actual industry and the human beings who make these things, it's fucking sucked. And this is like shit sucks part 5 with the sort of the pair of the most recent stories, although we could talk about a million stories, are sort of what's happened with Bungie over the last few weeks, months, and then what has been happening with Embracer ever since they went on a spending spree, and with Nick breaking some of that news. Nick, do you want to start with Bungie or Embracer? Obviously, you have like connection to both studios in one way or another. You want to talk about the Embracer stuff first?
Yeah, I think the Embracer stuff is interesting, especially so the link here is that New World Interactive is basically defunct. Weirdly enough, like the press are kind of eating up the comment that they only laid people off and that they're moving people to Saber, but like I know people at that studio, and that studio's dead. Like there is a name, and anybody that was like part of that studio that made the studio what it is gone. They fired everybody.
With studios, honestly, where like the spin is trying to be like everything's fine, and it's like the lights aren't on.
Yeah,
I don't know if everything could be fine if the lights aren't on.
Yeah, when they put up the as Casey said, no shade, the New World Interactive team, I was like, okay, well, I know what that means.
Yeah, and then this is just another example of like Embracer going on that like kind of terrifying spending spree.
Embracer's THQ 2.0, and the fact that anybody that is running Embracer is still there is a fucking sham, because they bought all these studios with the assumption that they're going to get that $2 billion deal from the Saudis, and then
family,
and now they have to now they have to cut costs. And I reshared that GI Biz interview on my Twitter the other day, and like rereading that just sick to my stomach, the way like, we're gonna let people go with dignity and respect, and I'm like, you motherfucker, you couldn't even name one person you let go of.
Yeah, and it's so many studios. It's seeing like legacy studios like Volition getting shut down, and seeing what's happening to teams and projects. What's happening? They tried to get the band back together to make a new Time Splitters, and before the game could be fucking revealed, they gutted the studio. Like it's just like mind-boggling that in a year where we get like generation-defining games that break record sales, like Baldur's Gate and like Zelda and stuff like that, then is the same year where Embracer and then Bungie is like, we don't know. Bungie, while simultaneously being nominated for Community of the Year, like Community Management of the Year at the Game Awards, laid off a ton of their community management team. And then we have this story from Rebecca Valentine over at IGN today about the just like the all-time low morale of Bungie, and how they're at this point now where they kind of like, in their bid to remain autonomous from Sony despite still being bought by Sony, like this is the shit that's happening. Like it's brutal. And I just don't know like where, like if it happens at Epic, and if it happens at Naughty Dog, and if it happens at Bungie, like who is possibly safe from this?
Oh, it's kind of, I mean, every industry during the pandemic is like everything's any digital media industry, including ours, was like, hey, the pandemic, like look at all these numbers, they're all going up. Let's spend a lot of money and hire a lot of people and see how that goes. And then now that it's life is returning back to normal, and people are playing new games and switching off to new things, and like it was never meant to last, and people just, when you see a peak and you run and chase after it instead of getting sustainable. Yeah, it's that's what happens. And like the live service bubble, like I think that was like one of our last episodes, wasn't it?
I think
the live service
might have been the
was
last
it was
episode.
it our last that was timely. Live service bubble has like completely burst, and the thing that annoys me so much about live service games in general is, besides the scumminess of a lot of the business models behind them, is like those games are expected to last forever and grow and grow and grow. It's literally capitalism in a and I'm not like completely anti-capitalist or anything like that, but it's capitalism in like its most denigrating form, where you have a very, very successful product, and the second it dips, it's a failure. And that's how it's described as. And that, like, I'm so sick of that. It's just gross.
Yeah, I completely agree, and you know, it's equal parts like rejuvenating to watch things. Like earlier today, I watched the there was like an hour and a half long stream that was the Double Fine Day of the Devs plus like a wholesome direct. And there were so many cool fucking indie games coming out of this, and like holding these two things in my head at the same time of being like, look at the creativity, look at all these amazing games that are coming out. Like Casey, Genesis Noir sequel got announced, and it looks fucking crazy. It's
When
like
did
all like
that
inspired
happen?
by like acid jazz. It looks nuts. Like it
Holy
looks
shit.
absolutely nuts. And that was so cool. And then at the same time, you know, we get one of these stories every day. Yeah, I forgot I was gonna message you, and I was like, "Oh my god, new Genesis Noir, the only other person on Earth
Oh
who
yeah,
cares."
I
Yeah,
retweeted
I
it.
love that.
Yeah,
I really love that game.
yeah, that game's
I
great.
think what I'm curious to see, like after all these layoffs and everything, one, all those people are going to end up coming back together and forming their own studios, which is we've seen a lot of over the last few years. A lot of independent studios funded like independently by people that were in AAA and had a lot of money from it. Two, I'm curious to see more developer-owned publishers. The first one that comes to mind is Kepler Interactive. They're formed by like Aurora 44 or A44 now. They made Ashen. They have I'm blanking on the other studios that are involved with them, but a lot of like Ebb Software, who made Scorn, as part of that Kepler Interactive group, and there's quite a few other studios and all that. And Sifu Studio, whoever I forget what they made.
Slow Clap. They made a
Slow
developer.
Clap.
Yeah.
Slow Clap's
That was
part of it.
Absolver.
Mhm.
Yeah. So these a lot of studios can come together and basically make their own publishing arm for themselves and share the profits amongst their studios and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah, and there's a lot of those. You know, we're seeing not only the like Annapurnas, but like you're saying, the Kowloon Knights, the Thunderfuls, and everything like that. So that's always like it's really always awesome to hear that. And then, and like the indie space isn't immune to this kind of stuff.
Mhm.
But it
League
seems like,
of Geeks just got hit by it too, and
yeah,
they made Armello. If you don't know what that game is, like I think it's like a kind of like a 4X strategy game.
and they just made that like sort of like 80s sci-fi Saturday morning cartoon.
Jump Ship Odyssey. I think it's what it's called.
Odyssey. Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, they had to lay off half their studio. But you can go read their statement. It's like, out of all these layoffs, it is the most human statement I've read. And even the people like they're not gonna be able to finish Jump Ship Odyssey, which is in early access, and the comments were, very sad that it got canceled, and not angry and like, wow, you fucked us over or anything. Like, hey, like, I hope you guys are okay. And like,
yeah,
the one cool thing that they're doing too, which shows that they really care about their employees, is any sales of the game going forward, they're sharing 50% of the profits with the developers that were laid off.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, I guess this will bleed into the next. I'll go over a couple super chats first, but this will bleed into the next topic of like the Game Awards tomorrow, which is, again, that I feel like the Game Awards are indicative of that duality of, it is so exciting to celebrate all the big cool AAA games that we are probably pretty obviously going to win, and do cool reveals that I'm genuinely excited about, because I like seeing shit even if it's fucking 10 years away. I still get excited. And how do you swallow that with the same pill of well, this has been the shittiest year, like,
Yeah,
for the
like,
humans.
there's so many people who are sitting on the couch watching from home because they're not in the industry anymore.
Yeah,
The
and
last
like,
number I heard was like 9,000 something people were laid off from games this year.
and it's like, there's a real push for, is Jeff Keighley going to say something? Like, this is kind of like, like him or not, like, this is probably like arguably the biggest gaming event of the year, and he is like arguably the biggest kind of mouthpiece for that thing, at least in, he's not as big as like a fucking PewDiePie or something, but like,
I don't want to hear anything
we don't have
say about this.
He'd start talking, he'd be like, "Oh no, that was a slur! Don't say that. We shouldn't have a beer."
I mean, on that same note, like, everything you're saying makes sense, but I'm like, what could Jeff Keighley say about this in particular? Like, is he the best person as the head of this whole curation of video game awards to like have a statement.
Yeah.
Would it be better served for him to get someone else who might be better served, and who would that person be? Like that's kind of where I'm wondering.
Get the
It was,
AAA executives that are laying everybody off to make a statement up there.
Yeah, like would any
them
of
out
those
in front of
assholes show up?
everybody.
Like would
No.
they show up at the VGAs? Because then you
Yeah.
can put them on blast. I'd love that.
Yeah, they had. I saw like a clip went viral of there was some awards or something a few weeks ago. I think it was in London, and they were interviewing Ben Starr, who plays Clive in Final Fantasy 16, who's got a lot of press this year because he's funny and charismatic, and he was good as Clive, and he's also really funny on social media where he like auditions for roles for games. Like he auditioned for the three birds in the Grand Theft Auto 6 image, the first image that was revealed. The only, the like, the trailer's dropping this day. There were three birds, the silhouettes of three birds, and he auditioned for the voice of the three birds. But
he's been doing that for a while.
yeah, he did the same thing with Mario once Charles Martinet parted ways with Nintendo. But when he was interviewed, they were like, "How great has 2023 been for games?" And he's like, "It's been an incredible year for games. It's been a terrible year for the gaming industry. And like, these are human lives that are being taken away and sort of churned out and then spit out and left by the wayside. And we're losing incredible talent because of the people at the top. And that's something that needs to change." And it's like, he doesn't need to be the person to say that because he's an actor. Like, he's not the voice of the industry. Hearing someone with a podium say it, someone with a modicum of power say it, I thought was really cool. And so, shout out to him, shout out to Ifrit, and shout out to fighting with alongside your bro.
I'm of the mind where like I don't know if Jeff saying anything is anything more than performative, considering the Game Awards is funded by the AAA studios. So like is he really gonna? I don't even. Yeah, and I mean, like, social media is going to social media. Like, I don't really care if he says anything. I'd rather like when the developers go up and get their awards, they make just acknowledge the people that have been laid off this year. That to me is more important than Jeff
I'm imagining a lot will.
Yeah.
I've
especially if they go up and win an award and the people that made the game aren't there to win it with them.
They were impacted.
Yeah. So,
I guess before we move on directly into the Game Awards, King Dead. With a $2 dono. Thank you so much, King Dead. Next funding goal, Nick's MRI. We're gonna do it. Miss Harmony with a $5 dono. Thank you so much, Miss Harmony. Will Yachtsman Crenshaw ever do another stream with Dane Cook? I mean, Gabe. Wait, Nick likes poo poo. None of this is funny. Both of these jokes are not funny. Miss Harmony. I don't know what was going on there, but I liked it. I liked the way it came out of my mouth.
You think if I like went and like just jumped on my scanner, that would work for an MRI?
No, sure. I do not think that.
Sure.
It'd still be funny though. I'll probably break it.
Debatable. And then Krakenfall gifted 20 subs.
Heyo.
Memberships over in chat. I'm gonna be honest, the names have disappeared for me. But to the 20 people who got subs from Krakenfall, salute to you. And Krakenfall, thank you so much.
Thank you. That is awesome
for spreading the good words. The Game Awards. Tomorrow night is Jeff Keighley's video game extravaganza. I believe the pre-show starts at 6:30 p.m. Central. A normal half-hour Game Award pre-show where some awards are given out and some small reveals. 7 p.m. Central, the main show starts. We don't need to go through all the. There's just a lot of categories and there's a lot of things we don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know who any of these esports folks are. I'm sure they're all very talented. I'm sure they all make so much more money than I do. I don't know. That's fine, and I hope they're all great.
Every single year, it's just
I hope they're all great.
Blank canvas of I don't know any of these people.
But I guess just starting at the top, Game of the Year. The 6 nominees are Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Mario Brothers Wonder, and Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. You just got to choose one. What's walking away with the big trophy? That's short for trophy in show business.
Only one of those I've finished is Marvel Spider-Man 2. But Baldur's Gate 3, I don't care.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Baldur's Gate 3 just based on how everyone else talks about it, though I kind of bounced off of it personally. Like, it's fine. It's not like...
You're a bad person.
I mean, not for this reason.
Any other reason.
But I agree. I think Baldur's Gate 3 will be the winner. And I don't know why I feel a little resentment for Nintendo being on their twice. Like maybe
because they should have had a third time with Pikmin, because those are three
Absolutely
of
not.
the 5 best games of this year.
Why we don't
I
get
think
invited
Mario
to the
Wonder
panel.
is a gimme title. They'd
Get
have been
the
fine with just Tears of the
fuck
Kingdom.
Out of here.
Marty's like, no, Casey's a good person. No, he's a bad person.
You and Yahtzee, like, oh, this is an off year. Pip, pip, here's my dog Puffy. Like, get the fuck out of here. Off year Mario. Christ almighty. This is the best 2D Mario since the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, but
That
there's
is
been
just
a billion of them.
one.
The
It's
best
expected
since.
to be
But
good.
is it so, Marty? Are you telling me Mario Wonder is better than Super Mario World?
No, it is, in my opinion, it's the 4th best Mario game ever made. Or 4th best 2D Mario game ever made.
So in the year of our Lord 2023 that has had such fantastic video game releases, why is it on the list of best games of the year?
Because
Doesn't add
Giannis
up.
Antetokounmpo is voted as the 4th best player in the NBA, and he is still a fucking Hall of Famer. It doesn't matter if he's the 4th best player in the NBA right now. He's a fucking Hall of Famer. That game is a Hall of Fame game. I also agree Baldur's Gate's going to win.
Well, that was an easy discussion. Move on.
I completely agree Baldur's Gate's going to win. I would like Zelda to win. Zelda is my favorite game of the year, but I do think to a lot of people, to the untrained eye, Zelda is just more Breath of the Wild. Obviously, those of us...
You see him pointing at us, Casey?
No, I was pointing
He
at the camera.
specifically pointed at us.
I was pointing
Yeah,
at
it's
the
pointing at
camera.
me. I'm looking at you.
No, it's fine. I'm a bit of a Tears of the Kingdom hater. I admit it.
It sounds like you're just a hater. It sounds like you don't like shit.
That's not true at all. I love all sorts of things.
What was your
Nintendo
favorite
has
game
just
of
been
this year?
disappointing me.
Or do we want to save this for later? Well, like
I don't know. Do we want to save it later? We'll save it for later. We'll go through the list.
You're just not
back
done
pocket.
yet. I still got
Here
Avatar
isn't
to play.
You still got Avatar. I mean,
Gotta download it.
Highland Song jumped in my top 10, and that game just came out yesterday. So,
Ooh, wow.
it's real good. It's real good. If you like pretentious bullshit like I do, ooh, doggy.
So
Man.
So Talos
Just go
Principle
play-
2
go
is
play
next
12
on your
minutes
list?
again.
Yahtzee
12 minutes
loves
is call,
Talos
12 minutes is
Principle.
calling you back.
Yeah.
12 minutes calling me back. What do you guys think that we're going to see tomorrow? You guys have any predictos? Do you guys think what do you think we're going to see in terms of reveals? I can say a couple things we know we're going to see. One of them excites me very much. Supermassive has confirmed they are working on a single-player game set in the Dead by Daylight universe, and we're going to be seeing that. So
That's the one you're excited for?
No.
Okay. I was gonna say that's weird.
That's like a weird thing. It has been confirmed that Atlas is there, showing Metaphor, Reef, and Tazio.
That's the one you're excited for.
That is the one I'm excited for because that's the Persona 3, 4, and 5 leads.
Oh, right. That's the one that has like the super weird title graphic, right?
Where it's like
yeah,
like a fake word going into like a circus tent.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm very excited for that one that Keeley has confirmed. But he's also said like he didn't do a lot of teasing this year because there's a lot of like brand new things, which is exciting. This feels like a good year for that because like it feels like we're somewhat out of the pandemic woods, and I think development has ramped back up to normal. And so I think we're going to really start seeing what I was going to say back half of this generation, and it's already insane that we are nearing the halfway point of this generation, which we'll see if that actually sticks because this might be a longer generation because of obviously COVID and everything. The console's launching in the middle of the pandemic. Is there anything you guys think or hope we will see be shown off tomorrow night?
I think I mentioned it on a stream a little bit ago, but I feel like it's overdue for Warhorse Studios to reveal their next project. They've been working on the next Kingdom Come game for a good chunk of time now.
Who publishes that?
Deep Silver, which is under Embracer.
Ooh.
And you know what? Embracer needs some good PR right about now. So what to better make people forget about Layoffs than a shiny new video game?
That is probably what they'll do.
Yeah, I would be honest. Yeah, that's like look what this is like jingling
Yeah.
keys in front of our faces.
Yeah.
Casey, do you have any? We could just go around a couple times. I have a couple.
I have nothing to base this on whatsoever, but I feel like it's time for Dokuvi to return.
The Doke. Could you imagine, Nick?
But I
fathom.
No,
I do
'cause
think it'll
Crimson
show up-
Desert first.
Yeah, they did announce Crimson Desert first, but I feel like they just gave up on it. Dokuvi's
They
a much
just-
better idea.
What? They just showed off like a giant trailer for Crimson
that looks
Desert like a
that
few
looks-
months ago.
That looks like it's too many games. You're trying to be too many games.
I
I'm like
do
Doke.
think, yeah, I do think if Dokuvi does come back and is shown off, it'll be a lot different than whatever they showed off the last time. Like they'll have scoped it in some way
Be
so that it
Gears of
actually
War
makes a
looking
little
now.
more sense. Maybe. Anything's possible.
Yeah.
I do think it'll be quite different from whatever they showed off that first time because they usually.
What if it's a sweet? It's a Suika like.
I mean, would it be the best Suika like in that case?
No, because Suika game is the best Suika like. I refuse to play.
What if
other ones.
Suika gets announced for other consoles?
That would be huge. And PC, bring it to PC. Stop
No,
letting other people take your money.
PC.
Stop letting other people take your money. Aladdin X. The developer's named Aladdin X. I like to assume it's like a robot version of Aladdin from Aladdin, like a cyborg Aladdin. I goofed about it earlier. I do obviously. Hideo Kojima is currently in the air. There's only one airport he could be landing at. That is LAX. He's
do you have like
going
flight,
there.
do you have like him on your flight tracker or something?
They track his jet.
Is he going to tweet at me like what Elon Musk was like? You are sending out my assassination coordinates. You can't do that. No, I pay attention. I pay attention to
there was flight status apparently.
Yeah, I pay attention to Narita Airport departures going straight to LAX because I like to see when the Japanese luminaries are visiting us in the great city.
He's going to land, and Marty's going to be sitting there. Why didn't you retweet me instead of Nick? Jerk.
I dined. I broke bread with him.
But he retweeted me. That's more important.
I broke bread with him. There was not bread because it is very hard to find good bread in Japan. Everyone's in very good shape, though, because bread makes you fat. I don't know.
Yeah.
Bread makes you fat.
There's a song about it now.
There's a song about it.
Wonder if we are going to see a reveal of that Amy Hennig game.
That is the
Captain America, Black Panther, World War II something, right?
Yeah, like them fighting Nazis in France or
Yes.
Marvel Nazis in France.
Yeah.
I don't like the way you say that. You make it sound cuter.
Nazis. No, I said that's like how Brad Pitt says.
Yeah, that's how Brad Pitt says.
President in Inglourious Basterds. He scalps them, so he's fine. He's fine. He's doing the good work. Yeah, I think we'll go back quick to Death Stranding. I think we'll get a Death Stranding release date, and I think it'll be the mid-year game. I think it'll be like the planting the flag in the sand of the pre-E3 game, the early June game. That's when I think Death Stranding 2 is coming out. I would bet we see combined at least 3 Star Wars or Marvel games.
Oh,
in a combo total status, and I bet some of them will be ones that we don't know about yet. So I think there's a chance maybe we see some Wolverine, maybe we see some of the Amy Hennig game, maybe we see something else of the Quantic Dream game, maybe we see something else from I'm sure Ubisoft will probably have a presence there. Maybe with Avatar out, Ubisoft Massive is like, all right, this is our next game. This is what we're working on, the Star Wars game.
Still want to know what the hell That's No Moon is doing.
Yeah, we assume Star Wars because of the name.
Yeah.
You know what they say about
and $100 million budget. And who best to give them that kind of money but Disney?
Yeah.
It's a safe bet.
KC, Xbox has been tweeting out about the show after last year when Xbox literally was not there, and everyone was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
Xbox has been tweeting about the show. Like, there's a widget when you open up your Xbox about tuning into the show. There's a safe bet they're going to be there. Is there anything you would think we're going to see from Xbox? Is there anything you would like?
They have a lot to answer for, in all honesty. Like they have so many games that are just trudging along with just no news. We will get proper gameplay of Hellblade 2, I believe. I do think they will show us whatever Perfect Dark looks like now, because I don't think they've given up on it. Like, they've been radio silent. They've been working on it. They'll give us something to let us know that it's still kicking around, because they haven't said no to it yet. I think
we get a Hellblade 2 release date, and it's March.
A release date. Okay.
I think we get a release date for March.
Yeah, if they show gameplay, they'll probably give a release date.
As February is packed as shit, Destiny got moved out of it, and March is pretty open right now.
Oh, I guess Destiny has that June spot now. Well, but that's nothing.
Yeah, I mean that's a
yeah. I don't even know what that. I just kind of trailed, but that's different than Death Stranding. That doesn't have any little fetuses.
I think we'll get that. I think we'll see what Contraband is finally, possibly as a third-party title.
I think they'll also probably do a bunch of announcing in terms of what exactly will be hitting Game Pass from their acquisition stuff. So like we'll get some kind of big sizzle reel, like, oh, you're gonna get all this goodness.
Yeah, there's been like the Game Pass specifically has been hyping people up for the Game Awards. So whether it's
makes sense.
here's a slate of big games that are coming to Game Pass. Here's some cool indies coming to Game Pass. Or these are our plans for Activision. Like this is all of these Call of Duty games are coming in Q1 or whatever.
You know what
Diablo 4 is coming.
You know what I'm putting on my bingo card?
Yeah,
which, by the
put
way,
things on your bingo card. So you get drawn the hand. You get dealt the hand.
I'm gonna put it in the hand that gets drawn.
Okay.
Hollow Knight Silksong Shadow Drop.
No way. I don't.
Could you imagine what does that do to every one of those outlets who's already put out? Because there's so many Game of the Year lists already out there. Polygon put up their top 50 that had Marvel's Midnight Suns on it because they put it up last year too early for Marvel's Midnight Suns to be on it. Could you imagine? I would love it.
That would kind of break the internet.
I would love it. I would like mourn the people who work in the game industry who have to immediately cover that and immediately like get someone on the review for that. But that would be wild. Yeah. In terms of stealth drops, a slightly less exciting stealth drop. I think we'll get a one more big trailer for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and I think they'll drop a demo. I think they'll give us a nice little slicey slice to play. And let me tell you, as someone who's replaying Final Fantasy VII, perfect game. No, that's not true. That's not a perfect game. Tifa says the R word at one point, which is I was just floored at. Let me tell you, I was like Tifa. I was like Tifa, for shame. But I am so excited for 5. That's my most anticipated game of next year. Along with this other game I found out about earlier today, where it's this immersive sim with this huge like fucking Russian giant you gotta hide from.
I've seen that.
Sonar. Oh my god,
I've
they
seen
showed it.
Of that.
They showed it again today during. I'm putting it in chat. Chat, you check this game out. You fucking put this in your pipe and smoke it. This is like you hiding from a large man. And let me tell you, give me more games where I hide from large men. I'm sick of hiding from small guys who are like creeping through the shadows. This man is just very large, and you hide.
Yeah, from him. That's funny you should say that because there is a lot of that in video games.
Yeah,
just hiding from normal-sized men.
Enough small dudes. Just bring the big boys out here.
Something someone in chat mentioned was Starfield. I do think one of the things, like I don't think we're gonna get a ton of Xbox stuff. I do think we'll get a Hellblade 2 release date at the show, but I also think we'll get like a Starfield mods creation suite release date or target at the show, just because Starfield's had a lot of negative PR lately for stupid reasons. So kind of get people excited about that game again, because it's definitely, I mean, the players dropping off story is dumb because that happens for every Bethesda game until mods come in, then the player base shoots right back up. That's why Skyrim still has thousands of players years and years later. So
that's Skyrim news that just came out. They're releasing like paid mods or something.
Yeah, you get paid for your mods as long as you don't make them with AI. Something like that. I didn't look too deeply into it because I don't exactly run a website anymore where I have to look into those things.
This is true. Do you guys think we'll see Hades 2 early access release date?
Yeah, I do. I think that'll be a May game too.
It's gonna be May.
I mean, the first Hades took an exceptionally long time.
And it spent about a year or so in early access.
Yeah, didn't they say in their most recent update like expect the same for Hades 2?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought that was what they said.
I don't want to play it in early access. I just want to play it when it's done.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gobble it up. I'd be curious to see if a Suicide Squad open beta gets announced because a closed beta happened over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could have tried that actually.
Yeah. And it, I think, I don't know. I think it would, if the gameplay is good, I think it would benefit the game by allowing people to get hands-on with it because that game needs all the help it can get.
Did you see their re-reveal?
Did I see the what?
Did you see their re-reveal? Like when they came back and showed?
Oh yeah, that thing they did like the direct or whatever, the Suicide Squad direct. Yeah, that didn't do too much for me. But I think when people get to play
it all.
What?
I saw like 17 minutes of like leaked beta footage.
You can talk about it.
It just looks like shoot numbers come off.
That's a worrisome thing that it doesn't look.
The movement looks fun and everything, but like it doesn't have like the atmosphere or anything of the Arkham games like that. Like it looks so generic.
Yeah,
It's
I'm a little worried
something-
about like the Metropolis city design from those.
The city design looked okay in the footage that I saw that leaked, but I mean, like, the
It's just
thing,
like the city looks good, but it's like, is this an interesting place to be?
yeah, well, that's the same thing like Gotham Knights had. It was like their linear designs were actually pretty good, but then you're out in the open world and it's like, okay,
Mhm.
it's a lot of useless space.
Yeah.
The one game, like the one like spark of hope I had from watching that footage is like it kind of reminded me of Crackdown a bit,
Yeah, very much
but
so.
with superheroes, and I was like, okay, that I can maybe get behind that. That might be fun.
Like that, like I honestly thought the revamped gameplay looked kind of fun. Like it looked like Crackdown beforehand, but the
Mhm.
slight changes they've made it look less like, because I think they might have just changed what they were fighting in the footage. But before it was like you're just shooting at large targets.
Blobs, yeah.
Yeah, whereas
Blobs.
the new footage is them fighting actual enemies, and that did something to make it seem a little more fun to me, because the Crackdown like gameplay is a hook for me. Like I think that can actually be a lot of fun.
Love a big blob. You know what I think you know what I have a feeling we're gonna see some Erd tree. We're going back to that Erd tree.
Yeah, for sure.
We're gonna see what sort of
Even
gold
though those news updates just said don't expect it for a while yet.
Get the fuck out of here. Who
I mean,
said
they'll
that?
talk about it at least, right? FromSoft
said that?
has said something at a Game Awards, I think, every year for the last several years.
Who the fuck said that? Katao-san, get out of here. Get out of here, Katao. If you're watching, don't be dropping that right after I said my prediction. Made me look like a fool in front of the Firelink audience.
I'm just wondering if they'll say something that we don't know. Like if they'll be like, oh, here's a short little image of whatever we're working on next. Sekiro 2, Bloodborne's cousin, Zara.
Was Bloodborne's cousin.
Just something different.
I'm trying to think, do we ever know about 2 From games at a time?
Yeah. They announced.
Did we know about? Yeah, we knew about Armored Core and Elden Ring at the same time, didn't
Yeah.
I don't believe
And
so.
like there was.
I don't
they
think
were,
Elden Ring Armored Core was like leaked and stuff. Armored Core was
we?
not.
That's right. They didn't
revealed
officially announce it till the Game Awards.
until not even the Game
Or
Awards.
no,
I think
Xbox Showcase, wasn't it?
it was something. I'm pretty sure it was
One of the
after
showcases.
Elden Ring came out. DS2 and Bloodborne. I think that might be. Yeah, that might be
Sekiro
right.
was teased right at the tail end of some other thing. I just don't remember what that thing
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, that might have been at the tail end of Dark Souls 3.
Mm.
Dark Souls
That
3
sounds
was the
right.
game before Sekiro. Yeah.
Anything
Um,
from PlayStation first party? Because there is nothing announced from them right now.
Hey, what are you talking about? The Last of Us Part 2 comes out in January.
Oh,
I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it.
yeah,
because
you're excited for everything.
I'm excited for it. That's not true. What am I not excited for?
Yeah,
I'm excited for- I'm
Yeah,
excited
you just
I'm excited for
have to pause and think. I think you lost this argument.
I'm excited for everything. No, I think it's cool that they're releasing it with like playable prototype levels and footage. Like they're actually doing
that's
some
cool.
kind of like behind the scenes like playable documentary. And this was something I talked about on Windbreakers. And let me tell you guys, it is very hard to remember the names of these shows. Hard. It is so hard for me not to say the name of shows that we used to do. They had that game came out, the making of Karateka, which is that was the game like the Prince of Persia guy did before Prince of Persia. I didn't care about that game. I didn't play that game. But the making of that was released this year is an interactive documentary, and it's so fucking cool because you're watching a documentary and then you're playing stuff and you're playing prototypes, and when they're talking about something, you're playing it. I'm like, that's cool. I want more of like learning how this shit happens. The Braid Anniversary that's coming out next year is going to be doing that, and it sounds like
I wanna
The
try
Last
that.
of Us is going to do that a little bit, and that sounds really cool. So, but aside from The Last of Us, obviously we just had Spider-Man come out, and it was fucking cool. But like, we don't know anything. We don't know what Sony's doing after The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it sounds like it
Well,
doesn't
we
feel
know
like this
we
is
all
something
know
that they
games
wanna
are
sure
service
at.
games.
We know they're yeah, we don't know what's going on. with those
Fair,
games as a service.
fair games and Contour.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck those are.
Yeah, that's Sony.
I think we could see Wolverine. And I think we could get a Tsushima reveal. Tsushima 2. Been a while.
More
Been a while.
Horizon DLC.
Yeah.
Oh, they said they were only doing the one, didn't they?
Yeah,
Oh, I don't know
stop
what
doing
they said.
Horizon.
Hmm.
Just stop doing Horizon.
Maybe we get that Horizon MMO thing they were working on.
Horizon Moo Moo Moo.
Maybe they have like a bunch of VR stuff they want to throw out there.
Yeah, Jesse Thompson does say Sony Ben. They've been working on something for a while now.
It's been a while.
And it was what the most recent rumor was that they're their continuation of the you punster Uncharted continuation. That's what the rumor is that they're working on. Or is
More
that-
Uncharted?
Yeah, I think the rumor was them and Sony LA, which the baseball studio are like working together on that.
You know, it'd be clever.
Huh.
You know, it'd be interesting though if
They called it
Uncharted, if the next
Recharted.
Uncharted continues continues the story of Nate and Elena's daughter, who's introduced in the epilogue of
Yeah.
Uncharted 4.
I want another
He
game with
was-
Chloe.
She was played by Caitlin Dever, who is the incredible actress. Was in No One Will Save You earlier this year. She was in Justified. Great. She is rumored to be playing Abby in The Last of Us season 2.
Mm.
So it'd be really funny if she was starring in
Uncharted
the next Naughty Dog game or the next Uncharted game, as well as the Last of Us series. But she's great.
Yeah, before
No One
anybody
Will
in
Save
chat,
You was great.
before anybody in chat flips out, I said Recharted just to make sure you heard that correctly.
Jesus, Nick, I didn't even hear you the first time.
What?
You know who you would love? Tifa Lockhart.
Why are you Jesusing me? I'm saying
You would love. Let me introduce you to Tifa. You guys can climb 65 stairs of the Shinra building and have a nice Florida chat.
Look, I didn't have a good time on stairs at Lethal Company today, so
You do not know. You think we see that super game?
the what game?
Sega's working on a super game. I don't know if you guys heard.
Oh,
Super-
right.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
Super Game.
quintuple
sort of
game.
Yeah,
Mega
Yeah.
game project.
First ever super game. Who says no?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think they're ready. It's too
noticed
massive for this.
This doesn't feel 2023 doesn't feel like a super game year.
Sega's gonna announce a conference at the next Summer Games Fest, and that's where they'll reveal it.
There you go.
It's gonna be like
Say
that
we are hard at
Capcom
work on the super
showcase.
game. We talked
Yeah.
about Sony. We talked about Microsoft. What do you think those chaps at Nintendo are going to be up to? They've shown things in the past. Speaking of 5 years ago, at the Game Awards 5 years ago, they showed they revealed Joker for Smash.
Switch
They,
2.
they revealed
You wouldn't give that to Jeff.
Bayonetta Lost Crescenza.
Give it to Jeff.
They wouldn't let Jeff have it. Jeff knows what he did.
Yeah, Jeff knows what he did. Yeah, and we have we have a couple announced Nintendo games for next year. We have the Peach game, Peach's Showtime. We have Paper Mario Thousand Year Door remake. We have the Luigi's Mansion 2 remake.
Remakes, yeah. Give me all those remakes.
You haven't played the first games, you can't complain. Only those of us who played the first games that can complain, and I'm not going to complain because I'm excited to play it again. That's
Yeah, I don't know what
In
else
the-
they would
the-
have in their
I
tank.
think a Metroid.
Isn't the Mario Donkey Kong game a remake too?
Sort of.
Milky,
fine.
milky, milk.
You haven't played it. Milky? You
Milk.
haven't played. If you
I
didn't
didn't like
play
that
it, it's
sequence.
not milking. And don't be like Mickey, Milky, Milky. Then doing the
You
other
made it
thing.
worse.
No,
Well,
we saw Nick doing
You
the
just
other
made
thing.
it worse.
That's a sticker
saw-
in the Discord coming right up for you.
We absolutely saw Nick doing the other thing.
When Last of Us Part 2 comes out, there's Marty going, milky, milky.
Milky.
Okay, everyone's just doing it now, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Eric, it's not a remake. It's an HD port. That's a Shamil Shamazel. Tomato, banana, potato. Panini, Domini. I feel like an HD port is fine for a game that people didn't play. Give it to the
Like,
masses, the proletariat, Nintendo, the voice of the people.
At
No, we
best, I
put
think
you in
Nintendo's
jail.
they're gonna have a scissor reel of all this kind of pocket change that's coming up because they have.
bullshit.
And that sounds disrespectful. I don't mean it in that way.
It was
It's like-
disrespectful.
what I mean to say is this is just what they have left for this console. At best, they give you us a little bit more detail on Metroid, but everything, if they say anything about a new thing, that's all on the Switch 2. But they're not going to tell us that there's a Switch 2 yet. That's my prediction, if that even counts as a prediction.
Some people think Mario Thousand Year Door remake is on Switch 2 because some screenshots had button prompts that didn't make sense for the Switch.
With the Xbox prompts.
I don't remember. It was one of those things I wish I just hadn't brought up. Because I realized I got to a certain point in the story and then realized I have nothing else.
It's like a Dreamcast 3, 4.
uh,
I don't know how many there are.
There wasn't a second.
one Dreamcast. There was one Dreamcast.
There's one.
Sega never made hardware. ever
I
again.
skipped 2 just to make sure you weren't excited for it.
I would get oh my god.
Damn it! Now I
Announcing
said
a
it. Now he's
Dreamcast
excited
2.
about it.
No,
in the
everyone would
GDC.
be. Everyone
In
would
the-
be excited if Sega was like, "Hey, we're just gonna do a Dreamcast 2, guys."
You know what I really want? I want an on live 2. That's what I want.
Why?
On live.
Why would you want that?
Because it was
It's
cool.
on live.
You don't remember On Live?
It was like one of the first
It's the
game
first like
streaming services.
and it worked better than half of what's out there now.
That can't be real.
I think you're being facetious.
Yeah,
No,
you're being absolutely facetious.
He had a
big
little
news.
box. What?
Do you want some breaking Nintendo news right now?
Oh no.
Switch to it.
February 16th, 2024. The Sora amiibo.
That's the last one.
You guys think we'll see Kingdom Hearts 4? Yeah,
that's a thing. That's a thing. Kingdom Hearts 4.
Kingdom Hearts 4 is a thing.
That like
I think we will.
ultra realistic looking trailer for that came out.
I think we will.
Yeah,
Instead of
because he's going to the
stylized.
real world. One of the worlds he's going
Oh,
to
that's
is the
right.
real world where Kingdom Hearts exists.
Right. Is he gonna like find like Andy and kick him in the nuts? Because that'd be funny as
And-
hell.
Who's Andy?
Does Andy
Toy
have
Story's owner.
Andy, first off, Toy Story's owner is Disney.
Oh, I was thinking of Woody.
Yeah, Woody's owner.
No,
Andy.
the real world. He goes to our world where the video game Kingdom Hearts exists and the film
Oh.
Toy Story exists. This is like when Chris Evans starred in the Lightyear movie as Buzz Lightyear, and he said, "This isn't a prequel. This is a movie about the real person Buzz Lightyear inside the world of Toy Story."
Toy
And everyone's
Story.
like, what does that mean?
Like it really just broke everyone's brains.
Like, Chris, you made this more confusing for people. I don't know why you did this. And then Dower Dodger with a $5 dono. Thank you so much. Dower Dodger said, "Need a bingo space for Jeff's nemesis, the Game Awards kid." I do not think we will see any live
If
interruptions.
that kid rushes the stage, Jeff's gonna like just kick him in the nose.
This is like a Lupin the Third type relationship now. Where like Jeff was like, "Oh, we beefed up security. Everybody's safe," and that kid has now made it his life's mission to show up Jeff's beefed up security.
Beefy security. Think about it. Beefy security. And then Eric wants Family Guy because Disney owns Fox. Thus, Kingdom Hearts can have Family Guy. I mean, Kingdom Hearts can have The Simpsons. There
I
could be a
legitimately-
Simpsons world.
Just
Oh,
want to play
wow.
Fortnite so that I can take somebody down using the Peter Griffin thing, because when he goes down, he does the "oh, I hurt my knee" meme.
Yeah, I
It's
saw that.
hilarious. It's fucking funny.
That's what he does when he goes down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he's instead
It's
of
great.
crawling, he's just
Yeah, because that reference isn't old at all.
It's never old. That's funny.
I was deeply offended that everyone was talking about Peter Griffin, and then I click on the image and fucking Solid Snake is in the background. I'm like, "No, you fuckers are talking about him? Like, what? What is going on?"
What's really crazy is the Lego stuff and the Peter Griffin stuff and the whatever stuff and the new racing mode was all
Whatever
announced.
stuff.
But this was all during an Eminem concert?
A real Eminem concert? Or
Yeah, it was
an
a-
in-game Fortnite
In-game Eminem,
Eminem
concert. Also, like the character model they had for Eminem looked really weird.
Yeah, it was like young, old. It was like
Young,
2000s
old-
Eminem, and then it was like today Eminem.
Oh,
Like they're two different skins.
It was like that Will Smith movie, the Gemini Man.
Yeah.
It was Gemini Man.
I don't know. You guys need to show
Um,
Eminem a little more respect. That's how I feel.
Uh,
Kids were blessed by a rap god, and they showed him no respect.
Gelden with a $2 dono. If Sora's real, Square Enix waifus are real, right? Well, Sora is real because Sora goes to the real world. So it depends who he brings. So like maybe Kyrie is real, but I don't know if the Square Enix waifus are real, as in like your Tifas or your Sellas or whoever your waifu du jour. Maybe.
Yeah, so don't get your hopes up. Is basically what Marty's saying.
Don't get your waifu hopes up, or do, because I'm not your dad, so it doesn't fucking matter. I'm a little worried. I'm trying to figure out where Kojima is. Yeah, Kojima's in LA. He's in LA. Kojima's in LA.
Stop stalking this man, please.
Bird has landed. The bird has landed. I'm just listen, I'm breaking news. I'm kissing babies. I'm breaking news. I'm shaking hands. I'm glad handing. You guys want to talk about what we've been playing and watching? You can't do everything. It's been like a month and a half. We gotta be picky with what we've been playing and watching.
Sure, fair.
Just only bangers.
Okay. Do you want me to start? I can start.
Yeah. Can we talk about
I'm
Scott
gonna-
Pilgrim?
No, because I talked about Scott Pilgrim a bunch already on my podcast. If you want those thoughts, go over there. It's good.
We just
He's
need to-
withholding.
No, because I want to talk about this other thing.
Okay,
Is it Pluto?
Is what?
Blue Eyed Samurai.
Is it Blue Eye
No,
Samurai?
yeah, also watch Blue Eye Samurai. It's fantastic. That's probably my favorite TV show of the year. Blue Eye Samurai.
I haven't got
So
to
watch
it yet.
that. But I started watching Squid Game: The Challenge.
Uh-oh. Look at Marty. He's like, I hate you for this too.
I was very much against the whole idea of turning it into an actual reality show because the subject matter of the show itself is basically a commentary on that sort of a practice, right? But I can't deny that they really did build a super entertaining game show. Like, it's a competition reality show. The people who are taking part in it are weirdly civil for a game that's supposed to be about like people fighting for money, but the game itself keeps turning them against each other, against their own will, and it is hilarious to see. Like, it's a very clear delineation of people aren't that bad. It's the world around them that is making them become this way. And like it is truly actually entertaining. Like the final episode I think airs tonight or might have aired already. Like I think they spaced it out. I didn't realize that because I was binging it until the finale came up.
Which
and
is interesting for Netflix to do.
Yeah, like they do that every once in a blue moon, right? But I'm super invested in who actually wins because a straight up injustice happened. This is not a spoiler. The glass bridge shows up at some point in the competition. There are also new games, which are actually really cool games. Like, if I wish we could do Squid Game. Like, that's how much fun like the show setup is. Like, I wish I could just do this with my friends and stuff. But they did glass bridge, and somebody does the thing in the show where it's like, I'm not, because they come up with this brilliant idea that is civil. It's like, hey, if we do this, we can actually get across this as a team. And someone just like F the team. And so the next game happens, that person happens to come through, and someone is like, that was shitty of you to do that. I'm going to take it out on you by trying to get you eliminated. And somehow the entire cast has collective amnesia, and they turn that person in that moment into the bad guy when she was clearly trying to exact justice for everyone. And like, I don't know what they did. They keep cutting it where like no one is acknowledging that this thing happened before. And I don't know what's missing from the puzzle, but it is infuriating. And I want everyone to lose but my girl, Mai.
I've heard people saying that it feels like it is with a lot of reality TV, deceptively edited.
Yes, like very much so. It feels like there are huge chunks of context missing for us and the players. Like, it almost feels like they're telling the people or showing the people in the game different things to have them react in different ways. Because I don't get how what happened in that first game doesn't carry over to the next game. Folks are just like, hey, why are you mad at her? She almost killed you all. Like, that's why.
Do you watch like a lot of reality game shows? Like, do you watch Survivor?
No, like I'm not
Road Rules or anything. I don't know if that's still
like when like the Real World was like the biggest thing in the world. Like, sure, but like I really didn't stick with much of that stuff. I generally hate the reality shows that are just people living their lives. Like, that stuff makes me feel like a crazy person. But generally, competition-based stuff is better. Like stuff that's about like cooking, or like there used to be a show called Top Shot, like a bunch of marksman folks from different industries would like compete in shooting challenges. That was really fun to watch. So stuff that just at the very least requires some sort of skill or ability, I can get into. But what makes this version of Squid Game so entertaining is how the game is essentially who the people are playing against. Like, they think they're playing against each other. The game keeps actually pushing them into these weird directions, and they keep being caught off guard by it. Like, me as the viewer is like, that's actually really cool how they got them to be enemies now. Because they just make the circumstances so that the people you keep trying to make friends with are like, oh yeah, we'll be cool, we'll be civil. We don't have to kill each other over this $4.5 million, which you would think humans would do in our society. But no, they're in this game, they're like, no, we'll be civil. But the game keeps making them have to not be civil. And I find that fascinating, honestly.
First off, when Darren was talking about the show, he watched it all and he wrote, I think, about it for the Irish Times. Not even sure if that's the name of the thing, but he had
This time it's Irish.
He writes for the Irish New York Times. But he said it is somehow simultaneously one of the slickest and well-made reality shows he's ever seen, and like thematically disgusting.
Yes, it is. It really is.
Yeah, he's like, it is insane because like every time I was like, I can't watch this anymore. I'm like, this is really great, like filmmaking and like gamesmanship, and like this is like really good. Yeah, which is really funny. And then several people in chat have said, Marty, you sound like the 1,000-year-old man talking about Road Rule.
I mean, he is wearing a cardigan.
I don't watch. First off, several young Taylor Swift has a song called Cardigan, and she's the Time Person of the Year. So suck it, Nick. Fucking dating Travis Kelce. You're not dating any Kansas City Chiefs. You just big Kansas City beef. Fucking roasted.
Got
Roast beef.
Yeah, I absolutely got him. Absolutely got him. Someone's gonna fucking whisper in Biden's ear, President, sir, we got him. But I don't watch any reality TV, so I don't know what like I don't. That's not me being a holier than thou thing. I just have too many. There's too many things. And just certain things had to get pushed to the wayside. Music, I just don't listen to you anymore. You just don't
Shark Tank, Shark Tank, and MasterChef.
Short Tank? What is a short tank?
Shark Tank.
Oh, Shark Tank. You said short tank. I was like, what is that? And then MasterChef. I like cooking shows. I like people who
those are always entertaining.
make nice big meals. What was that?
I knocked the thing over. Sorry.
Oh, I think I knocked over. Cudlack with a $2 dono said, "Have either of you seen Godzilla -1 or plan to? Did you guys see Godzilla, or have you watched Monarch?"
No, I want to now.
I started
like
Monarch.
review. Yeah, I want to
watch
get
the
into
first episode of Monarch.
Monarch's really good. Godzilla -1 was great. I like seeing that lizard just cause a ruckus.
Is that in theaters? Where's Godzilla -1?
Yeah. It was released in theaters. It might be coming to VOD soon. I don't know if it's gonna be streaming anywhere, but yeah, good end of the year push for movies. We got new Miyazaki this weekend. Boy and the Heron. Hayao Miyazaki, not Hideaki Miyazaki. Although if he's at the Game Awards, who knows? Couple of Miyazaki's cutting it up this weekend. Casey, anything else you've been watching and playing? Remember, all bangers. It's all bangers.
If it's all, I don't have any other bangers. I can't talk about.
I feel bad now. What's the like? So obviously, Recos from the past like month and a half that we haven't done stuff is everyone should watch Scott Pilgrim. And
yes, everyone should watch Scott Pilgrim. Everyone should watch Blue Eye Samurai.
Yeah.
Everyone should watch Warrior.
Finish
because I just finished season 3.
Scott Pilgrim. Finish the first episode of Scott Pilgrim. This isn't a spoiler. Even if you like wrote Scott Pilgrim off, finish the first episode. And then if you don't want to watch it, it's fine. Get to the end of the first episode, and then make your decision.
True words.
I need to watch Blue Eye Samurai. I haven't watched Blue Eye Samurai yet.
Neither have I. That's on my top of my list right now. But yeah, Warrior season 3 was awesome.
It was really good. God, that show was great.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome for me bringing that show into the world.
That was a recommendation that Nick made.
And for all of you new folks in chat, if you have not watched Warrior on HBO Max and you like time period pieces, mixed martial arts, and like good crime drama, go watch it. You will not regret it.
Two of those.
It's if The Wire had kung fu in it.
Yeah.
Oh my
it's
God.
so good.
What?
It's like one of the least. It's like one of the least talked about shows I've seen, and it's also one of the best shows I've ever seen. So fucking good. Like the fight scenes, everything in it. 600 people in here watching. I better see 600 of you here back next week and say that was a good recommendation. Thanks, Firelink podcast.
It's true. You should watch it.
There's too many shows. I'm watching the new season of Fargo. That's an oops all banger right there. I'm trying to burn through seasons 1 through 3 of True Detective in preparation for Night Country coming out in
Isn't there a new True Detective coming?
Yeah,
like a fourth season.
Season 4, and you don't need to watch any of the earlier ones because they're kind of anthologies.
They're all separate.
Yeah, it's Jodie Foster, and it's in fucking like Alaska, in the dark period. Not like the dark ages, like the dark when it's like mostly night.
When it's nighttime.
When it's nighttime. Yeah. Aside from those shows, though, Pluto, and I'm afraid to mention Scavenger's Ring because Nick is going to yell at me that I still haven't written that thing.
You still haven't written it. It's 2 weeks later.
You know what I did right?
Nothing.
I wrote a couple things. Scavenger's Reign on HBO is the sneaky best show of the year that no one is talking about, and is probably going to get never going to get a second season because people like me won't actually finish their pieces on it. And then Pluto on Netflix is a reimagining. It's an adaptation of a manga that is a reimagining of Astro Boy, but it feels like it's like a Blade Runner quality. Kind of like neo-noir about someone who's assassinating these there's almost like a 7 wonders of the world that are these 7 robots, and someone is going around and assassinating each of them, and people are trying to figure out like who it is. It is wonderful. They're hour-long episodes, which is interesting for anime. You don't get that a lot.
Yeah, I was actually surprised by that too, that the episodes were so lengthy. I think the first one even is like more than an hour.
Yeah, it's like it's beefy. There's a lot of beef on it. And then I'm rewatching Mad Men, but that doesn't count. I mean, as an old show, but that's great. He's a bad husband.
So I've heard.
Yeah. Nick, you been playing anything? Watching anything?
I finally went back and finished Cyberpunk 2077 and
Banger.
Phantom Liberty, and I'm glad I waited all these years to finally play it in the form that it was meant to be played. And then they're like a day after I finished it, like, oh yeah, 2.1 update adds even more stuff, including that Metro Rail system that I would have liked to have had. So
Nice.
that
That's
was
a
in
good
there. Yeah, yeah. No, I had a really good time with it. Turned off like a lot of the RPG elements, like the numbers over the head, shooting people and everything, and like just made it a very, very immersive, fun experience. I did like pretty much a lot of the side quests, like a good majority of them. Did the whole main story for both campaigns. Think I got the pretty good ending. So yeah, I was really, really satisfied with it. Like it finally felt like the game I was promised all those years ago, and like made me a believer in CDPR again after every time I loaded up Cyberpunk, when it came out, just having a buggy mess every time and just frustrating me to no end playing it. So highly recommend Cyberpunk if you haven't played it now. Like really good story, really connected with it. Make sure you don't do the mission in the main campaign that says there's no return no return from this point before you finish Phantom Liberty. Finish Phantom Liberty first and then go do that mission. Otherwise, you can lock yourself out of Phantom Liberty. They kind of coincide together.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So yeah.
How long is Phantom Liberty as a thing?
Probably about 7 or 8 hours fully.
Cool. Yeah, I think I'm gonna jump right into it. I started the game over, but I don't want to wait that long. I'm gonna go back to my original save and then just start Phantom Liberty from there.
Yeah. So played that. I've been trying to get through Alan Wake 2, just kind of sporadically hitting it because I've been so busy with other stuff. Like lately, I've been, after work, I'm just so tired. Like I just kind of want to go to bed. So I've been playing Wild Frost again, that card battler game. That I.
You're like addicted.
Yeah, it's just a really, like, if you like deck builder games, like I really enjoy that game, and it's got like a really unique like hook at the end of it. Like if you finish a run, and I won't spoil it for anybody, but like it really incentivizes you to kind of play it again in that sense, because there's still more stuff to unlock. But also like, yeah, like if you finish a run, there's a really cool twist that happens when you do. So I've been playing that, and then just with my friends, just been playing a lot of Battlefield 2042 as well, which didn't think I'd be saying in 2023 that like I'm loving that game, but I am loving that game. I think it's like actually surpassed Battlefield 4 enjoyment for me, which I never thought I would say about 2042, but they have really
Didn't you
fixed that
write
game.
a hit piece on that game?
Oh yeah, no, it was terrible at launch. It was fucking awful.
All the devs.
I did not, but it was awful at launch. Like it was the worst Battlefield I've ever played at launch. There were like 4 assault rifles, and like there were like 12 weapons in the entire game, which is insane. There was like no progression. The balancing was off. The gameplay was off. Everything was off. But as of today, like I probably put like 50 hours into it over the last month. I've just had a really good time with my friends playing that game. So a lot of people will be like, "Yeah, you should have been good at launch." Like, yeah, should have. But what I will say is, like, they seem to have refound the formula that made Battlefield fun, so that makes me excited for whatever they're doing next. Because I think I mean, it's clear as day. Like the player count has shot back up and very high, and like it's like, okay, we have our formula. Let's take this into the next game and just not fuck it up again. We'll see. We'll see if somebody makes some stupid decision to add not class characters in it again, like the abilities and all that nobody uses, but we'll see. And then as far as shows, I don't know if I've watched anything.
Playing on that Battlefield.
Yeah, you're playing too much Battlefield.
Yeah, well, that and hockey's back on, so I've been watching Red Wings. I watched Gen V. It was okay.
Oh yeah, I heard
blown away by it.
That is just okay.
Yeah, I mean, expands the boys universe a little bit, but definitely prefer the boys over Gen V.
Isn't there another The Boys spinoff that was announced or talked about?
Like one set in Mexico.
Yeah,
I believe starring Gael Garcia Bernal
and Diego Luna.
Like,
that might have been.
Do we want
might have been just Diego Luna.
Do we want all these The Boys spinoffs? Like, is this a good idea?
If it's good, it's good.
I do not want any spinoffs of anything. Except the things I really like. No, I don't know. Yeah, spinoffs. I get. Yeah, I don't know.
Like this feels very much like The Walking Dead, where it's like they
Yes.
just kept spinning stuff off, and none of it was ever as good as the first one. And then the first one even started to dip in quality, so nothing
Apparently,
felt good anymore.
Apparently, the Daryl show was actually really good.
I like the first episode. The first episode was really good because it's mostly like silent. And Daryl, I don't know how he ends up in France. I don't know how Norman Reedus got to France during a zombie apocalypse, but he's just like chilling in France.
Yeah.
All right.
Good for Norman Reedus.
Conceptual. Two people in chat. One not with my username, not that witty username as is Battlefield 2042. That's good, or just with your friends. No, it's good. Like I can play it on my own and have a great time.
Yeah, it's the frosting. Is it fun or are your friends fun?
Yeah. No, it's fun. And Conceptualization says Nick is so forgiving of the studios. It's not like they personally hurt me.
Yeah,
Like
what is there to forgive?
Like the game wasn't good. I didn't want to play it. It's good now. I want to play it. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, I don't know if
this like personal.
Yeah, we hold no grudges here.
Should I have a Greg Miller rant? Like that's a stupid thing to say because like it's a fucking product. Like
yeah, if you fix it, there's so many games that don't get fixed over time. So
yeah,
if a studio is allowed to take the time and finally develop something into what it could have been at the beginning, then I think that's great. And I think it's cool. Like CD Projekt Red, I think that's a good story. Yes, in a perfect world, you don't have to wait 3 years to get the game that you wanted out of the thing. And like, yes, that game was clearly in no shape to launch, given that they literally had to pull it from several digital storefronts at the time, especially on last gen consoles. But yeah, I don't know if we're not capable of.
I like Battlefield. If it's good, I want to play it. Like,
yeah.
Hell, if it's good, I'll even happily support them with money if it's good again because I want them to keep making it good. So,
good stuff. Keep doing good stuff. Eric informed me they announced that tomorrow there's going to be new Smash Spirits.
KC. Wait, hold on. What?
Sakurai said for the 5th anniversary they're releasing new Smash Spirits tomorrow.
Smash Spirits.
I don't care at all about Smash Spirits, but this is an update to a game that they stopped updating about a year and some change ago. That is significant because there's definitely some balance shit they need to throw in there.
Can you quickly write up a letter? Spirits are they're like they're not even AI fighters, like they're little like collectible.
It's like modifiers. It's like modifiers for like they give characters different traits that you can mix and match to give yourself like dumb up powers and abilities in the single player mode, the World of Light mode. But I have not finished World of Light mode. I've owned this game for all 5 years.
I finished World of Light mode.
I played just enough to unlock all the roster, and then I went into online, and I've never been heard from since.
Never been heard from since. My last thing to recommend that I was gabbing about earlier, a Highland song just came out yesterday, I think. I'll have a full video on it sometime in the near future, maybe end of this week, maybe weekend, maybe next week. But it quickly became one of my favorite games of the year. It is by Inkle Studios, who did games like 80 Days and Overboard and Heaven's Vault. But it's a game that's about a 15-year-old girl who lives in the Scottish Highlands who decides to run away from home one day. She got a letter from her uncle who says, who lives at a lighthouse and says, "Hey, if you can come here in a week, I'll show you something you won't believe." And she's never seen the sea before. And so you play this 15-year-old girl who goes out to travel the Scottish Highlands to get to the sea to visit her uncle. And it is a game that manages to capture the sort of wandering spirit of Breath of the Wild and Death Stranding on 2D planes, which is insane. Because if you see the game, I put the trailer in here. The game is you travel on a series of 2D planes, but the way it has you going into the foreground and background feels like Disney used to have this thing called the multi-plane camera, and it was how like their early animated movies felt like they had such a depth to them, and it was almost like the cells had layers to them, and so like they were able to sort of simulate the idea of depth on a 2D plane. And that's what this game is like. And a lot of it has that kind of Breath of the Wild like cartography puzzles where you find a clue about a shortcut and you get to a high peak and then you look around your surroundings and see you try to find where the shortcut is in the environment to try to get there quicker. It almost feels like a rogue in that you get to the end and then you can replay. You start again with like the things you've accumulated, the objects, the clues, the information, and so you can start again and find different things that really like captures the feeling of like a choose your own adventure while also having that exploration feel to it. I think it's beautiful. I think I think like the game is probably my favorite indie game of the year. It's somehow like snuck past Cocoon right at the end of the year. It's really fucking good, and I hope more people play it. It is on Switch and it is on Steam. It gets
Yeah, it
a
looks
big old
beautiful.
thumb up from me. Yeah, it gets a big old thumb up from me.
Mhm.
Yeah. Do you guys have anything else?
No, I'm just excited for I'm excited for the Game Awards tomorrow. Like just excited to see what's coming up next. I feel like we got through a lot of the big hyped games, and then we know like what the first half of the year looks like, but don't really know what summer and fall look like yet for next year.
Yeah, which sometimes we don't know until later on in the year. But yeah, I can imagine seeing some games tomorrow night that we end up fleshing out, or even if they don't say when they're coming out, those are going to be the big games of next fall, which is very exciting.
Yep.
Hell yeah. And yeah, like Nick mentioned, we're going to be back here tomorrow night. We'll probably be going live around 6 p.m. Central, around the same time we went today. I need to super clarify that 6:30 Central is when it actually starts. But we'll probably be going live about 15 minutes or so before it starts. And yeah, if you've tuned into our live watch alongs before, you're gonna know the drill. We hang out, we do some spoofing and goofing during it, but we're mostly quiet during the reveals to see what's going on. We have a really great community here in the chat, and then we play bingo. And if you've played bingo before, and if you haven't played bingo before, you're gonna see some bingo. Let me tell you, you're gonna see some bingo.
Our partner, Stream 6, did confirm that we can create our own board, and you guys can play bingo with us using that software.
Okay. That's TBD.
Neat.
Eric can run it.
Nope, that's not Eric can run it. I do not think you guys have the same definition of what a board is. But regardless, we'll figure that out tomorrow. But yeah, we'll be doing that tomorrow. Nick, what should folks check out? Where should folks find you? What should folks do?
Well, you can follow me on Twitter at NickJCal. What a month has been for people following me on Twitter. Used to be like 2 or 3 likes on tweets, and I got like hundreds of likes on every tweet. Definitely a lot more engagement on there these days. But you can follow me on there. Yeah, I'm doing my best. But you can follow me. I haven't put out a D's Nuts joke on social media yet, so we're in a good spot. But yeah, tomorrow, new semi-emblematic episode is coming out, so make sure to check that out. Friday, new Design Delve episode will be out. The Yahtzee Tries may have an episode on Saturday. We might turn the Lethal Company one into like a little one-off that we did, or we'll just save it for next Saturday, depending if the editor gets some of his stuff done that he is already working on before that. And then, of course, next week you'll get all kinds of good stuff like the backdrop. A bunch of other stuff that's coming out, fully emblematic. We got a lot of stuff in the works here. I can't even keep track of it all at this point. It's really exciting. And as always, since first podcast I've been on, since this is literally a month to the date that everything happened, actually. Really happy to have you all here. Really happy with all the support we've seen. Patreon is really, really crushing it. We're really excited about that, but still hoping to get more people on there to help us get sustainable. So even if you can only support us with $1 on Patreon, it still helps because collectively you can all make a difference in that realm. And then got a lot of cool stuff planned for next year and coming up. So just thanks for sticking around and thanks for supporting us.
Hell yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Casey, what about you?
You can find me at SigmaGears9 on Twitch and all the other social media platforms. I've been doing a lot of solo streaming lately because I have a little bit of time on my hands. So if you've been hanging out with me over there, I'm usually playing Smash. So come through for that stuff. Very soon, well, I shouldn't say very soon, probably after the holidays, just so that stuff is cleaner. I'll be starting co-op streams with my fiance in an attempt to start raising funds for our wedding in 2025, the same year as GTA. I'm wondering how close those dates end up being to each other, the launch of GTA and my actual wedding. So that should be fun.
Are you gonna move your date around depending on GTA?
We'll see.
Not gonna say no, but we'll see.
That's going to start probably at some point in January. So I encourage you to come hang out with us. We'll be playing fun co-op games and putting challenges as we get suggestions from the audience as to dumb shit that might possibly get added to my wedding. Like, it was already suggested that I would have to do a Wario cosplay.
So that better be a very big.
That's the plan. I don't want anyone making me do that.
Remind me, are you guys starting a certain stream series next week?
Right.
Yeah, I think we can talk about it. I mean, if we can say it. I
couldn't remember what date it was. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. So a week from tomorrow, next Thursday, from 7 p.m. Central to 9 p.m. Central, KC and I are going to be back playing Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
Starting with Devil May Cry 2. We finished Devil May Cry 1. And now we're going to DMC 2. Every by the end of the game, you are Devil May Cry Master. You've lost all of that. You've lost all that power, but it's fine. So we'll be going into Devil May Cry 2, which a lot of people say is the worst. So
that's what I hear. So we will experience it firsthand.
Yeah. So those will be that'll be every Thursday, 7 p.m. To 9 p.m. Central, same time as previous Devil May Cry streams. So yeah, we're starting that next week. So Game Awards tomorrow, and then Devil May Cry starting next week. And I think the way it goes.
Good.
Like, I don't think we're gonna miss any episodes unless you're out of town for the holidays, because the 21st and the 28th are days, and so it's not like Christmas is on a Thursday or anything like that.
Mm.
So yeah, we'll see.
And then one change for this weekend is Amy's had enough of the Great Ape in Sekiro, and has decided that she wants to go back to doing newly released games on Sunday. So her and Frost at the same time, 1 to 3 p.m. Will be streaming whatever she feels like streaming that day, which will be a new game, and it may be a stream that we run here on the main channel as well, just so we have something up here on Sunday. So we will see. We will let you know in the Discord and the community tab.
Cool.
Yeah,
and then thank you so much, Eric, for putting links in there. You can follow me on my Twitch channel as well, twitch.tv/BigPiggity. I stream a couple nights a week, and I've been going through Final Fantasy VII, the original, because I want to replay all of the Final Fantasy games in the compilation before Rebirth comes out. And we'll see that actually happens, but that includes the weirdo Dirge of Cerberus shooter and getting my channel taken down as I stream Advent Children. So. Because that's a movie. Yeah, it's on YouTube. You can't get it. You can't go to jail for streaming something on YouTube. Maybe I should ask a lawyer if you can go to jail for that. the Sakaguchi wouldn't arrest me.
We're already talking to lots of lawyers. Why don't you?
Yeah, there you go.
Another one. Just throw that. Toss that question right in the bucket.
Will the Gooch arrest me if I watch this? And they'd be, sir, please get out of our office.
If you do that, you got to put on the invoice is exactly asking that.
Yeah, can I be arrested? But yeah, thank you, Nick. Thank you, Casey. Thank you, Eric, so much for
thank you so much, Eric,
and being wonderful in the chat. And thank you to everyone who tuned in. This really means a lot to us. You can catch us every Wednesday evening at this time. We'll be on YouTube and we'll be up on Spotify services. I don't know, how does that work right away, or should that take a little while?
Should be up tomorrow on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts. Which remember, Google Podcasts is going away. It's just going straight into YouTube Music at some point. It's going into YouTube Music. So for everybody asking where Google is, well, Google didn't tell you that Google's going bye-bye.
Fucking, you gotta talk to Google about that. You can't be talking to us about that.
You gotta Google about Google going away.
That's a Google problem. That's not an us problem. You gotta have those Google dolls. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to everyone who watched. This has been a breakout episode. Ooh, I fucked that up right at the end. This has been Firelink Podcast episode number 1. And we'll see you all next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.